Whoa, 5 people already. Hey, Dan. I guess it probably pays to um, let people know ahead of time you're going live. Just finished feeding the cat. Who else? Me. I'm gonna head out here in a second. Oh man. Tell Jeff, I'll take it. In high school, I was called Busey because I looked like Gary Busey, the actor. Obviously, with some hair, I look a lot more like him. But tell me I'm not crazy. I'm gonna turn my AC on high, and tell me the fan isn't fairly loud. You guys hear that rattle? Yeah, the Honda dealership told me they couldn't hear it. I brought it in. It was probably worse when I brought it in. It's probably gotten better over time, but it doesn't matter. It still has at least 13,000 miles until the warranty is out. But one of the, I don't know if they do this in Australia, but when you go to a dealership, there's like a porter where they take your car to the mechanic. Yeah, thanks, Dylan. And the guy, I went outside to vape. There's no sign that says no smoking or no vaping or anything. Even the service manager said, yeah, go outside. I don't even care if you vape in the service center. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it because, there's people around, people don't like it, and I don't blame them. People deserve to breathe clean air. So I go outside, and this, like, I don't know, about a 60-year-old guy who's one of the porters, he was like, there's no smoking allowed. The smoking's over there, like in a really rude voice. I'm like, okay, your manager told me it was all right. He's like, and then he repeated himself as if like he thought I couldn't hear him or something. And then I go back in, and the sales manager was like, did that guy give you shit for vaping? I'm like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that. He's like, well, give it back to him. I'm like, all right. So I go outside and I say, excuse me, sir, I don't appreciate, you doing that. I've been coming, my family's bought cars from you for over 10 years. And that's by far like extremely, there's respectful ways to say it and there's rude ways to say it. And you chose the rude way, and he just gave me this smile with this like handlebar mustache. And I was like, yeah, that's, keep on smiling and see how far that gets you in this business. So, let me turn the AC off and yeah, that's with the AC off. That's with the AC on. I can feel the compressor come on. I think the fan might just be like, the gear on it is like, kind of messed up. That's cool, for sure. All right, let's start heading out here. Got a little bit of a drive going to Venice, so we'll be on for a while. Some pretty torrential downpours up until about 2 hours ago, and then it got. You can see it clearing up in the distance. All. Yeah, it sounds out of balance, and it happens more when it's hot. So I assume like the plastic in it expanded and kind of cracked. I bet it's maybe part of the gears cracked. I don't know if it's a metal gear or plastic. I know those are often plastic, so. I'm not worried about it. I know I can get it fixed in the near future. The problem is like when I do my vlogs with you guys, it's only 72 degrees out because of the rain. But when it's 90 and I'm vlogging, I'm gonna want the AC up, and I want you guys to be able to hear me. Plus, I want it fixed because like if it breaks out of warranty, I don't want to. That's cool. I used to be a Honda service advisor. I've had at least 4 Hondas in my lifetime. Oh yeah, trust me. You think that's bad? I can do a real legit Gordon Ramsay style roast on something. I can do it on almost anything that deserves it. So, thanks, Joe. I appreciate the. I mean, it's up here. I can't. There's a long. There's two like. There's a split vent. In the front for the defroster, and you know what? Crap! I think I might have forgotten something. Hold on a second. Here, nice sunset though when it rains. I gotta go back to. They chain the park bench for the kids because someone keeps on stealing the bench for the bus. Who does that? And why not make it out of metal so they don't steal it? A cop lives literally right across the street from that, and they still steal it. But yeah, there's a lot of people, and I don't know if there's really palms that deserve to be roasted. It's more the people. The palms, only are the palms are. Oh man, that car's burning mad oil. A palm can only grow as well as the environment it's given. So I can't blame a palm. I mean, if it's a little bit weedy, then that's one thing. All right, let me. Yeah, Macon is not it's not too chilly. What you can do in Macon versus Atlanta is actually a pretty big difference. You can get away with a lot of plants. I mean, not a lot, but I mean, there's probably like a dozen palms that will grow in Macon. Only like 2 or 3 that legitimately grow outside in Atlanta. Maybe more. I mean, that's not really. Yeah, I mean, they can either drive metal into the ground, but people just. I mean, someone comes in the night and just steals it out of the pickup truck. I mean, you can cut the chain. It's not like that's easily stealable. But why is the question? Do you really need a bench that bad? You're going to steal right across the street from a Lee County Sheriff's house? That's the bad part. Let's make sure that I'm looking for the cat because the cat is 8. Hold on. Give me 1 sec, guys. Keep on talking. I just want to no. I thought I didn't lock the door. I'm kind of seeing if I can see it locked from here. All right. Yeah, when I brought it in, it was only about 65, 70 degrees out in the morning. If that, maybe even like less than that, because it was March 9th. It was a little bit on the chilly side. Like, I mean, I want to say it was like 60, 65. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit of labor because it's right underneath the windshield, so they don't have to pull the whole dash out. I've replaced a heater core in a Bronco before, and it's like the part's $30, but the labor's $500 if you were to get it done. That's okay, Zach. Hey, James, what's going on? Sorry, I'm just catching up on the messages here. That's good. My dad said it was 70 in Vermont, so I'm assuming most of New England's pretty warm right now. There you go, Zach. I would say 10% of those subscribers, Zach, are probably either have no idea what a banana is or they're trolls. So be careful. Got the burrowing owls out. So I'm going to do the Easter thing with my mom and my sister. Man, it really, I don't know if you guys see this, but the dirt from the road, from the sand and mud from the blew all of it into the road. Kind of like a flash flooding situation here. These are usually rental houses right here along the service road because they're just, you get a view of the main drag and that's about it. People tend not to buy houses for, like, you know, not a lot of privacy. Actually, Pineapple, they are not even closely related. I know it sounds crazy because they look very similar. Royals are actually more closely related to there's a few palms from Madagascar they're related to, but they aren't really, they were kind of almost their own family in a way. You would think that they'd be related to like a foxtail or a Carpenter or something, but they're not. I haven't really gotten gnats. I mean, it probably has happened, but you usually have to sign a poor drainage somewhere, or like petioles not cut back long enough so that they. Have I gotten an MRI? Yes, I have, twice, maybe twice at least. Why do you ask? One time I did, it closed. Yeah, check to see if there's any kind of like items like carbohydrates, sugars, you know, anything they can feed on and just kind of eliminate it. They don't like hydrogen peroxide. What is on my hand? Is it a closed or an open MRI, Dylan? I got one after my motorcycle accident. I got one after my car accident. So yeah. I went into the one. The first one was okay. I just took some Xanax and laid in there. I actually fell asleep, even though there's some loud pinging and stuff. But James fishing, nice. Anyway, for the car one. I would try just throwing, if you drink coffee, just take like your coffee grounds and just sprinkle it on the soil. They're not gonna, like, they'll be not happy about that and they'll leave. They'll go somewhere else. It's really acidic. It's good for lower the pH of the soil. And most insects can't handle coffee grounds. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how claustrophobic you are. If you just realize you're just sitting there and you can get out, I got into the closed one. It was like a very closed one, and the second time around I said I can't do this, and I pressed the button. I went to the open MRI. It was a lot nicer, but Ashley did the closed one because her neck was more messed up than I was, and I just held on to her leg while she did it. So I had to sit there and hold her leg for like 45 minutes. Yeah, it depends on what if they're doing there in your entire body, it can be like an hour and a half. I don't know the words to that song, Zach. If it's something from the past 5 years, I probably don't know it. I'm more of like a '90s guy, '90s and 2000s. Hey Alex, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I live in Cape Coral, Florida. Ah, okay. I think I've heard that song, Zach. Where do you live? Oh, you're going to University of Chicago? Oh, well then you're good to go, man. Those are like the smartest people in the whole Midwest, if not, I mean, that's probably the nicest college. It is the nicest college anywhere besides the East and West Coast, I'd say. I don't think Alex is a troll. I think he wants to learn. Yeah, Daniel, usually you'll see like at a 3 gallon or say like in a 15-liter pot, you'll see them start to get the red. I gotta make sure I get this green arrow. And yeah, they'll start to get a little bit of red, and like by 7 gallon stage, they'll definitely have it, which would be the equivalent of about 25 liters. So once they fill out a 25-liter pot, they should have a significant amounts of red. If you have the yellow one, it's actually rare. So I think the reason the lipstick does so well in your climate is because it has very waxy leaves, so it can handle the lower humidity, even though it requires tons of water at the roots. I found my new favorite fast food dish. There you go. I got the cod dinner at Culver's. That was seriously decent for fish and chips, especially like at late night. Yeah, some are redder than others. Some turn yellow. Some turn red and yellow, which are variegated. That's probably not going to happen with yours. Everybody wants a variegated or hybrid lipstick now, and it's cool and everything, but you'll find that my interest in hybrid palms is very limited. Oh, that's pretty cool. What does all you can eat sushi run in downtown Chicago? I imagine it's a lot more than in Florida. Yeah, that cod dinner. I even ate it an hour after I got it because I had to jump in the shower, shave, and everything when I got home, and it was still delicious, even like lukewarm. I've had worse cod at like a restaurant where you pay $15, $16 for that sort of thing. Thankfully, there's a Culver's open till 11 tonight. Okay, that's not bad. Flat rate 24. The places in Cape Coral that I've gone to for all you can eat is one place it's weird. One is like $15 for lunch and 21 for dinner, or 22 on the weekends. I'll tell you in a second. Pineapple bananas are cool. I've heard this. Zach, is that okay? So anyway, yeah. Then another place on the weekdays used to be $13 all you can eat. I mean, like, they serve it to you, but it turned to $20. But you can pick like 3 for $15. It's kind of complicated, but Okay. I know the hurricanes is the coconut palm, but pineapple. So the worst food I've ever tried. Um, does it have to be an entree, or is it any food? I'll tell you this: the worst food I've ever tried, and then if you want the worst, like like dinner I've ever had, the worst food I've ever tried was, my mom would make it, and she would love it. Please don't cut me off. Please don't fucking cut me off. All right, so worst food I ever tried was it's called aspic. It's basically tomato gelatin. My mom served it with mayonnaise, and one time at a dinner party, she asked me to try it. It smells nasty. It comes in like a Jello mold, the side of mayo, which is like warm, not warm, but it's not cold. It's just like room temperature, and it made me just want to like instantly throw up. The worst like entree I ever had. Oh, I don't know. I usually eat a lot of food. I was trying to think what it was like. I ordered the most disappointed I ever was. I ordered a filet mignon with at a pretty high end restaurant in Miami, and I ordered it medium rare. It came out well done. I mean, it was like sawing. I needed like a hacksaw, and I told him like not paying $30 for this when obviously it's so far away from what it was, and like they had a problem with it. I'm like, listen, like if you don't want to like accommodate me, we can talk it out right here in the restaurant. But they didn't really speak a whole lot of English, but they thought that I was like trying to like screw them or something. I just wanted like if I'm going to order nice food, I want it cooked properly. So that wasn't the worst food I ever had though. I've tried some really nasty sushi that was like raw fish and some kind of green, like bean sprouts with some kind of weird mayo on it. That was disgusting. There's some sushi like I just don't. Fried fish bone with the eyes sounds cool. It's not. All right, so back to the. Yeah, Vietnamese food. We have a Vietnamese place right next to the Wawa, actually. It's not that cheap, though. It's like $13 for a bowl of pho. Yeah, my concern is that a lot of those restaurants, as I've seen, I used to go to an Indian restaurant in Connecticut, and then we found out like they had like so many health violations from like lack of like proper refrigeration. I'm not saying that that's every place is like that. It's just like it's trying to turn me off from going to a couple places. Yeah, those Palm Hearts, man. Some are really good, some are terrible. Like after Hurricane Charlie, which hit this area pretty hard, my friend was chainsawing down fallen palms and eating the hearts out of them. He was like tearing into them like a caveman. I was like, we have food at the house. You don't have to eat that. He's like, oh no, I don't want to waste it. But yeah, some taste like the sheets, Yeah, you can eat the heart of palm as like a salad thing. You can eat it as an entree if you like saute with some stuff. I mean, I'm not as well versed on it as many others, so I don't think the heart of banana is going to taste very good. It's going to be a little bit too like mushy. The heart of palm is a little, it's held together like an artichoke. It's basically like a big artichoke. Yeah, and that's the thing is like one of the places here in Cape Coral used to be really good. It was sold to a family member and they cut corners, and then it just became like I remember picking up my napkin and it was like covered in some red sauce, and they had like trays that they hadn't, or plates they hadn't busted since the night before. Like, come on, guys, like, I'm paying $20 to $25 a person at this place. Like, I know it's sushi, but still, like, if it is sushi, if nothing else, it should be even cleaner. So, I don't think he did. I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the conversations you have with Daniel. I have a friend in the poker community that he had an addiction to opioids, and he had issues with other drugs as well. I wasn't a close friend, but he was someone I knew that, I mean, even though he was in recovery, I trusted him. And recently he's like on my Facebook, he's just been posting nothing but, like, the past year or so, he's become a flat earther that thinks that everyone that worships Christ is Satan or something. And I tried to like use like palms to kind of explain like how the sun works, and he just like didn't want to hear it. Really just no, man, Dylan, there's a ton of edible fruit. Can't do that to your friends, Zach. Yeah, so Dylan, that's a good question. What's edible? So you could eat most. Let me see what you did. Party station. Okay. We'll see you later on. So the other fruits that are edible, you can eat. There's some fruit and there's some nuts that are edible. Some you can eat both of. You can eat the inside of a queen or a butea. It's basically like a miniature coconut. This is painstaking to get the inside of the nut cracked and taking the meat out. I never tasted it. I think it tastes okay. I mean, when I hear. But coconuts, there's a palm called the Salak palm, which the fruit is apparently very tasty of. I've only gotten seeds of it, not the fruit. There's the peach palm, which the palm looks the seed looks kind of like a peach, like a miniature peach. Apparently tastes like crap. Then you have Euterpe oleracea, which is the acai palm. The fruit is blended into a drink, but you got to add sugar to it. I've had friends like harvest the berries, like, I'm ready to drink this. I'm like, dude, you got to add sugar and other stuff to it. It's gonna taste like, terrible. And they're like, yeah, I just threw up because it was so bad. I'm like, yeah, you gotta, you can't eat it as is. So I don't know why they don't want to listen to me, but what else is edible? Dates obviously are edible. Yeah, that snake fruit is probably the Salak that I mentioned in Bali, because Salak grows in that area. What else is edible? Like, notably edible. I mean, you can eat the fruit almost off of any palm. I don't have to think about it. There are a lot of things you can eat off of. Are you talking about the double coconut? Oh, you were talking about the Brassicas. Yeah, you can eat that too. Actually, that's a pretty staple food. Like, they take the unripened fruit of the Brassicas and they cook it. Shiv can tell you about that. There's a common name for it. What's that cop up to? Just hanging out there. I don't know. There's an Indian common name for it, but you can eat Brassicas. You can eat the fruit too. I mean, I've had Brassicas fruit. I haven't eaten it, but it smells like you can eat it. I would say palms are the most dynamic family of plants because you can, between building houses, making random things out of them. I was actually making a vlog about it, eating stuff. I mean, if I were given, the thing is, like, you can eat fruit off of fruit trees, but you can't really build anything out of it. Like, if you had nothing else to I mean, how many avocados are you really going to eat, or how many mangoes can you eat until you're like, I can't take this anymore? Can you survive with a watermelon? I probably, yeah. I mean, it's got all the nutrients. It's like 95% water. I don't see why you couldn't. I'm not a nutritionist, so I couldn't like verify that. Yeah, Dylan, Borassus grows pretty well here, actually. It has a climate almost identical to this in India and other parts of South Asia. All right, Zach, hold on a second. Yeah, I saw that, Zach. Sorry, I wasn't responding too much. I was trying to get some stuff done. Speaking of roasting people, I'm not going to name names, but there's someone in the palm community that I trust a lot, and I did about close to about like 80 to 100 hours of work for, plus expenses, and I haven't been paid in like 2 months, and he's just not getting back to me. He's passing the buck on. He's kind of like he's kind of a passive, just thinks everything's going to be okay and doesn't want to cover his own ass. And so, like, if I've been a little bit like pissed in my past few videos, it's because I've been a little bit like tired of being screwed over. But yeah, Zach, it is. I unfortunately, there's nothing tangible. It's all consulting work. So, however, I do have plenty of leverage. I don't know if I want to talk about it publicly because he still owes me money, but maybe I should. Maybe he will. I mean, I could go to like the Palm forums. I could say, so and so owes me money. This is what's happened. I've had proof that I worked, and he's not paying me out. And he. So, it's one of those things where it hurts a little bit more because I've known the person for so long and it's palm related. If this were like a poker related issue, I wouldn't even think that much about it. It's just like, that's the way poker is. I mean, I don't really lend money in poker, but things can happen where people make money and you invest in them, they don't pay you. It happens all the time. So it's really like caveat emptor at that point. But you learn. I want to, Zach. I can get them at Rare Palm Seeds, but then I'm curious if none of them germinate, then I don't really have any recourse. Pineapple. Sometimes I do cringe, but sometimes I laugh because depending on the palm, it might be from some idiot that crashed their car into the palm and the palm won. So, but yeah, like palms that have just been planted with scarring on it just shows we're too amateur to put a buffer around the rope to keep the trunk from scarring. People get away with a lot of stuff in Florida. It's unfortunate. I'm moving from New York. The things that people do in Florida, they would never get away with in New York. It's almost acceptable here to like screw people if you can. Florida almost has a history of that. All the land booms and stuff. Yeah, it's about $1. It ended up costing about $2 a seed. problem is I don't know if like it says it comes from a little bit of altitude, and I'm a little bit concerned about that because high altitude things don't do well in our low humid climate, especially when we don't have much of a cool season. Although it's only 70 degrees out, which is nice. Really getting tailgated. Yeah, and that's the way it is in, I mean, New York, it's not a 200-mile radius because it's heavily populated, but I lived in a place where if you screwed somebody, like, you wouldn't get any more work, but places like Miami or Tampa or Orlando, people get screwed all the time. Just be careful who you deal with. It's a little bit complicated. It involves a third person, and they're passing the buck off on each other, and it's really sad because the other person is someone that really shouldn't be doing that. Someone that has quite a bit of money, and I don't really know what's going on. It's like they just don't care. It's 46 degrees there. Oh. How did it go from like? I thought it was like 70. I know it's gonna be relatively cool for tomorrow and Sunday. It's gonna be like high in mid 70s, lows around 60. So that's pretty chilly for late April in Florida. The average high is probably like 84 and the lows like 68. But there's a lot less variation when springtime comes because just the nature of everybody go around me. And I know, and I even tell people in Florida, I'm like, I hope you don't never make a trip up to New York or Chicago, or DC or Baltimore, because people are gonna you're gonna get your ass beat for doing stuff like that. It's part of why I don't like. There's some things I don't like about living in Florida, and that's definitely one of them. People get away with. I've seen all sorts of scams. I've seen everything from like diabetes testing strips to taking down payments on like housework, plant, overcharging for plants and installation going wrong and it all falling apart. It's important whatever business you get into, whether it's the plant business or the your reputation is everything. If you compromise your reputation, then people just are gonna know that. And this person knows the reputation is compromised. My I was actually going to go look at a bike today, but it was so wet. I'm not going to test drive a motorcycle on wet roads because it's not going to be fun. The highlight thing? What do you mean? Are you talking to Zach? I'm going to Venice for at least a day, maybe two. Why, you coming over? Yeah, I bet those storms are about to hit you, man. They're pretty strong. They were shaking the house. They knocked the power out of my house twice. I mean, momentarily, but it's kind of annoying because it takes 15 minutes for the internet to reset. So if I'm watching, my cable's all via the internet, so it's just, I'm not like gonna be like, oh, I'm American, if I don't have my cable, I'm dumb, but you know what I mean. It's kind of an annoyance. Oh, it's the worst sound ever. Oh, so you just type the @ I believe, and then the person's name. It'll even like fill in the blank for you. Pretty sure. I watch a lot of poker streamed on YouTube, and that seems to work for me. Yeah. It wasn't orange. No, I think you gotta like it'll give you the options of who to put at. Yeah. I actually went to go look at a motorcycle today. It was a 2017 Honda Rebel 300 with 81 miles on it, and it's $1,200 less than a brand new one. But I don't know. I've got to shell out $3,800 pretty much cash. Yeah, I mean you can finance stuff like that, but it's really not that much fun. It's like I'm hesitant to put the money out like that when I'm not getting paid significant larger amounts of money than that from. Anyway, there you go. And that way, like, if you want to talk to someone directly, they know, hey Brian, what's up? If you want to talk to someone directly, they'll know for sure, and there's no doubt there. I don't know if they get notified, but they can definitely see it much better. Yeah, man, I saw that. I'm sure you know more about bananas than I do. I mean, I used to have a bunch of varieties. I had Musa Ai. I had a really nice version. I even had it to flour make bananas. And actually, a cold snap in Venice killed it. It's like down to the stem. What the fuck? There's nobody in that car. I hate that. At least gas is going back down. What is this guy doing? It's a red light. You fucking idiot. God, I gotta drive with stupid all the time on this road. Did you guys see that? What are you doing? It's a green light. I know you give right away. Why didn't you go when it was red? What the fuck is going on here? God, get me out of this state. I swear to God. I mean, it's dusk too. Like I could have easily just gone, not seen them until it was too late. So ridiculous. Why do I have to live here amongst all these dumb people? This guy's tailgating the person next to me who's already going too fast. I feel like it, man. To own a park? Do you mean like a private botanical garden? A park? Like Fairchild is an 80-acre park, and it probably costs millions every year to maintain, so. I mean, the guy's either too drunk or too stupid to know how to drive. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, cycling, this is the worst time. I mean, sunrise and sunset. Like, my dad used to be like an amateur, like a pro-am cyclist. He used to ride a lot of pro stuff as an amateur, but, he would compete with them, and my dad would have been even harder on him. He would have followed them and told them how stupid they were. It just angers me. Like, that guy could have hit both of them, and like that would have been manslaughter. I mean, no one's gonna survive getting run over by that truck. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened really, but all I know is they chose to go. I mean, it's almost like they wanted to get hit, and that guy just wanted to get it. I don't know. Maybe the guy more jaded than I am just kind of just hates red lights. Maybe he knows something I don't know, but I doubt it. I'm definitely not going to delete this upload, though, so I can watch stupid. I don't even know if I know how to trim a clip from it, but if someone knows how to trim a clip from my uploads, that would be great, because I really would like to keep that. Anyway, I'm over it now, I think. I hope I am. That's why even at like green lights, on major roads where like 45 mph and up, I will still look both ways before I go, because I mean, like, what if I were a motorcycle? Like, that's just good night right there. That's why I hesitate buying a motorcycle in this town. All right, I'm done with it now. I mean, it wasn't like the craziest thing ever, but just like two stupid actions like within 15 seconds of each other. All right, this lane ends. Oh, yeah, you speed, buddy. Go for it. Speed in downtown Punta Gorda. See how well that works out for you. Maybe you'll catch a light, but catching a speeding ticket down here is like very easy. Hello. Oh man. You guys wonder why I get so stressed out? I mean, I could take the highway, but it's pretty boring. This little silhouette of palms while I'm driving over the bridge here is actually pretty nice. I guess part of me gets mad because, I got raided by a drunk driver, and I see people being stupid all the time. We're going to Venice, man. We're halfway there now. Probably a little more than halfway there. We're in Port Charlotte. Concrete bridges, yeah. You guys can hear that, huh? Not out of gas, but if I see a good deal, I'm yeah, it's still, there's still nothing laid down. I don't think there's even concrete laid down, but nice. Bananas are rewarding because in the end you get to eat it. I'm sure they will. It's right there on the water. That used to be kind of like a place to just, like I said, park vehicles for sale. I almost bought a Toyota Corolla there, actually. It said last light was at 8:19 on Wonderground, yet it's 8:22 or so, and still, I mean, it's not last light for sure. Yeah, I can imagine that sort of thing's gonna take. And then people don't drive without lights. I gotta calm down. to be a Long John. Any of you guys have Long John Silvers in your where you live? We used to have like 4 or 5 of them in this area, and they all got converted to something else, like Taco Bell and KFC. Look at this dead Bismarck. They're all dying now. They're getting worse. The water and the heat will speed up the dying process. So there's one. Let's see. Let's count how many there are. Well, I will, because it's a little harder for you guys to see right now. I think they just closed down, except for like, really, like probably in the south, like the deep south. They were just badly transplanted. They didn't water them when they needed to be. Bismarcks, undergo a lot of root shock. I don't know if I passed them already, but I know there's more. Okay, so we have these Royals leaves are all brown. And sorry, I'm just looking for the dead Bismarcks. Oh, I'll get that in a sec. There's some palmettos. One's got a bent trunk already and is dead. Those Royals are brown. Here we go. Here's some more of these. You can just tell by I can tell by the silhouette of the Royals that they're all dying. I don't know. It's really hard to kill Royals. Yeah, that place has been around since I've lived here. I don't know if people just go there because of the ease, but they've got some interesting stuff. I've never actually been there. Because I just know the prices are going to be more than I would ever pay for a palm. It's all retail. But yeah, they've got some, I've seen them, have some stuff die actually from the cold. Okay, so there's a lot of palmettos here, and they look mostly okay, but yeah, no water, lots of heat, bad transplant. I mean, I'll show you guys in the video, but here's some more of these Bismarcks. Let's see, there's another dead one. When you transplant a large palm, you want to dig like a donut around it so water will collect. There's some more Bismarcks, a couple more dead ones. All right. I have a Royal Poinciana that just rooted itself in the ground. Sorry if it like in this part of Port Charlotte. Yeah, and they'll throw in. I mean, they'll guarantee it, and they'll throw another one in. I mean, just why not do the job right the first time? At the job site where I'm still waiting on the money. Like, I've had to do like things 3 times over because, like, renaming stuff, identifying things, because I identified and they take the tag out, lose it, and they're like, hey, can you re-identify this plant? It's like, yeah, I can. Just, I guess I can't complain because it makes me money, but then again, when I don't get paid, it doesn't make me money. Hey, Terrence, what's up? Yeah, Bismarcks look pretty awesome in habitat, especially the silver ones. Because Bismarcks kind of grow in 2 distinct areas. One is like the north central coast of Madagascar, which is going to be a lot like, it's a tropical savanna climate. It's going to be a lot like Cape Coral, Naples, maybe a little bit warmer though. Like, it doesn't get even close to freezing. And then the other area is like the Comoros Islands and Mayotte Island. And those would be the more tropical green ones. The Comoros are the Comoran Islands are are beautiful, but they're a little bit sketchy because they have kind of a very strict religious. I think they're pretty strict. Like I don't know. I believe it. I don't know if they're protectorate of France still or whatever it may be, but they it's just hard to go there unless you're like native to like the general area. There's a cop behind me. Sorry, I'm in traffic like this. I don't check comments. I feel like I'm getting screwed here. Let me get out of this mess. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to grow like that, Zach. But it might. We don't know. I don't know anyone that has them. So. I think there's a lot of New Caledonian palms out there that haven't made it here. Some palms from the Indian Ocean, like a couple of the Hyophorbate genera. There's a number of Adelaeas that haven't come in from like Brazil. Brazil has a very strict policy of it letting seeds out of their country. It's just not allowed unless it's for research purposes. Well, it's not that it's not allowed. They just won't issue a phyto for anybody except for, like research centers. Zach, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Musa seed if I get it. I'm on the fence about getting it because I just know that the company that sells them is known for not having the best germination rates, and it's already a hard seed to germinate. So if I get like 10 to germinate, I mean I guess like $15 a plant, or like $20 a plant, which is probably not that bad considering how rare they are. But Dylan, yeah, that was to answer your question. Yeah, it would be cool. I imagine it would grow better in a climate like San Francisco, even though it wouldn't grow fast. Coconuts. Yeah, the double coconut would probably do well in South Florida. It's probably about as hardy as a coconut, if not slightly a little bit less hardy. It's Adelaide Calenda. I have one. Oh yeah, you know that. Mine's doing well. It's in a 15. It needs to go into like 45 gallon. Oh, hello, Damon from Brazil. Is that what you're saying? Or the chicken crispers? I haven't been to Chili's in a long time. So, Ashley's calling me. She should know that I'm live. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, James. You're saying is what is rare as Washingtonian Robusta? The Adelaeas? Yeah, that's how rare they are. Ashley's not happy with me right now. It's okay, though. Oh, yeah. Well, I if it, it was recently discovered. Anything that's been recently discovered is going to have a higher price tag. It's artificially inflated. There's some palm seeds that are, $100 for $1,000. So you get to buy the 100, and you got to pay $10 each plus shipping, and you just don't know if they're going to be any good. I'm just not willing to take that risk because the price of the plant's going to start going down like exponentially. Just not really worth it. Some people just really want it. There are some palm collectors, not many, that have to have something because no one else has it. And they don't realize that there's a reason no one else has it, because it doesn't grow here. Now in Cycad's a little different. Hey, is it João? Is that how I should pronounce the name? João Branco? Yeah, Branco. I wish I spoke some Portuguese. I know that's a Portuguese name. I don't know if Musa Ingens will grow well here. Why am I in this lane? Get me out of this lane. Yeah, I didn't even really know about him. I mean, I know about the other Musas, like the big ones. I had a Musa ventricosum. I'm sorry, Insete ventricosum, that I had flower and everything. What is going on here? Oh God, the merging. It's really easy. You just, for those who just watching for the first time, sorry. Well, wish me the luck. It flowered and died, but it grew perfectly fine, which, I didn't think it was going to grow that well in Florida, but I tried it out. It was like $8 for 100 seeds. I had a bunch of them. In fact, I had so many I had to like throw some away because they were getting like too big for the pots. They were rooting into the ground. Or I left them on the curb. They disappeared, so I don't know what happened to them. People might have taken them thinking they were free bananas, but they don't produce any fruit, so. There was no fruit. It was just a flower. It might have really tiny fruit to it, but there's no starchiness to it. There's something to bite into. Where Musa Ingens actually has a fruit you can eat. The fruit looks like massive. It looks like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it without sounding phallic, so I'm not going to. Or I guess I could just say it looks like a big donkey wang. So. But I will tell you that Musa Ai, the variegated banana, actually is pretty tasty. I grew my own and they were good. Then I bought a handful, like a whole hand of them at $6 a pound. Paid like $12 for 2 pounds. And they didn't let down. They were actually pretty tasty. The bananas themselves are variegated too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that because those the fruit. I mean, I can't imagine a 50-foot banana like tipping over after it's dead onto my house. You got to think about that. Like, do you have the room to plant that sort of thing? Because when it does die, you may have to either chop it down or it's just going to come down on its own. Just like a lot of monocarpic palms, like solitary fishtails. Hey, João, Portugal. Okay. João, that's a good question. I heard that Royals will grow in areas like Lisbon and South Portugal, because I know there is some heat there. In North Portugal or in the mountains, if you have a climate where it doesn't get below 4 to 5 Celsius and there is some heat in the summer, you should be okay. I would give it a try. Maybe another species of royal, like the Venezuelan royal. It's called Oleracea. Yeah, Dylan. Norfolk Island pines are like the worst plant. worst like arborescent plant to put in the ground. One of the worst in Florida, because in a hurricane they actually don't fall over. Their branches strip and they become like sticks. I wouldn't worry about them falling. I've seen them survive Hurricane Charlie, but when their leaves get cut and stuff, they get all sappy and nasty. I tried to chainsaw down the one in the front yard, and Ashley's mom, who owns the house, got mad because she said that she got it as a present from someone. I'm like, oh, whoever gave it to you didn't like you very much. They're endangered. Yeah, they're definitely not endangered. You can buy them at Home Depot. They are ugly and messy. At first, they're kind of cute because they've got soft leaflets and everything. People buy them as Christmas trees. They plant them in the ground. Next thing you know, they have to spend $1,000 to take it out. So like it literally will. It'll literally stop the goo inside can actually stop a chainsaw from rotating. It's that nasty. There's some kind of diesel in front of me, burning my eyes. It's all right. Over. I think that they just. I don't think they want to pay to get rid of them because it's expensive, or someone. There's some real fascists in the HOAs around here in Florida. They think they know everything, and they throw down their rules like they're like actual laws written by the government. HOAs are a dangerous entity. They're the only other people besides the IRS that can put a lien on your property if you. So like, let's say that you have trash cans out and they didn't like that and they want to give you a fine, and you're like, screw you. They can actually get a judgment against you. Or even like, that's why like O.J. Simpson has a house in Florida. He can't lose it because it's homesteaded. But the only exceptions are like HOAs where you actually sign your agreement to, if you violate it, you can have your house, put a lien against your house, where the IRS obviously has the ever-reaching hand, the long-reaching hand of the IRS come to slap you in the face. All right. That's hilarious. I would love to see a Norfolk Island pine. It's actually outside. Like someone put it outside, like, oh, what a beautiful Christmas tree, and then the next day it's just dead. They probably did themselves a favor. Anyway, what was I going to mention here? So yeah, Norfolk Island pines are actually not pines; they're araucarias, which are related to some bushes and the monkey puzzle tree, which is actually really cold hardy. Zach, you should try that out. It's a funky looking plant. It's kind of weedy, but when you have when you're come on, dude, really. There's like no reason to do that. What does this say? There's someone written on the back of this Mercury here. I don't know if I can't read it. Someone loves somebody. All right. I guess he wants to get cut off. I'm just gonna. Karma's a bitch, man. I'll be turning right here, and then I'll have a lot more ability to watch comments, but. I think when people do this sort of thing where they cut you off or they run red light, like they don't even realize what they're doing is like, no problem, no name. I'll still be on for another 10 minutes or so, at least. Is that a ridge line in front of me? It looks like it is from the taillights. Nice, no name. just gotta check something here. Sister just sent me a picture of some really tasty food. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Zhao, I try and survey like all the climates, because I have a lot of customers that buy things from Portugal, Spain, South France, pretty much all of Europe, and so sometimes they ask questions, and I have to know the climate zones. To get on this road will be good to go here. All right. Yeah, monkey puzzle. Oh, I can't handle. I was gonna try and outrun that BW, but he's doing like 75. I can't outrun that. Jesus loves you. Sorry, guys, on comments. I just these roads this time of day, I got to be a little bit careful about looking away from the. But I can still see the road when I'm viewing. Actually, I'm kind of glad that guy got ahead of me because he's tailgating the hell out of the car in front of him. You have avocados. Yeah, there were some bad storms. Okay. I'm not making the same mistake twice. Zhao, I don't think a coconut's going to be able to grow in Portugal unless you want to grow it in a pot and bring it in for a month or two out of the year, because it just doesn't get warm enough during the day. I'd love to tell you that it can, but there's a lot of other options. There's Becario Phoenix that is a very good substitute for a coconut. I'll never tell you you can grow something you can't grow. I'm not gonna have people send them to buy plants they wouldn't. What is this guy doing? This guy's trying to. There's a guy behind me that was trying to pass me on a double yellow with oncoming cars. And he's pulling in right here. He couldn't wait like 10 seconds. Just shocking. I don't get it. You think about like the risk you take to go on oncoming cars on a double yellow to get somewhere like 10 seconds faster. Not even. I mean, maybe he really needs to go to the bathroom, but I can understand that, I guess. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You have some pawpaws? Okay, so. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Oh, that's a fellow Ridgeliner, I think. Yeah. Hello. Come back here, Sarah. I want to talk to you. You have the same vehicle as me. turn there. Oh, there is a turn there. I forgot. There's a development in every. That's where they top it. Maybe it's to make it bush out a little bit, but they're not looking to make fruit. Yeah, it's pitch black now. Wish I had more time. I would stay live for hours if it didn't kill my, wasn't burning like 2 gallons of gas an hour. No, rain 40-degree temperatures will be fine for queen seedlings. They can handle a lot of chilly weather. Do you guys like the vlog where I did the comparing the difference between a sable and a Washingtonian? I know a lot of you obviously can tell a difference, but a lot of people can't. I get that question a lot. Time for this. Yeah, I was gonna do a Chinese fan. I want to do a Chinese fan, do a Washingtonian, to a sable, but I'm gonna try and do everything to kind of like, relative to each other. I might go into the Garden Venice. Why is the light red? That's pretty difficult, actually. Oh, it's actually not that difficult, Zach, but. Was that really necessary? Some people. You're right, a Chinese fan does look a lot more like a sable. So I will discuss that. However, they're trying to die. People are always trying to get T-boned here. Alright guys, so I am basically here now. So in 30 seconds I'm going to kind of say my goodbyes for now. Who knows, it might be on later. Depends on what I'm doing. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep today. Thunderstorms woke me up, even though it's pretty rare actually, but it's one thing that really won't wake me, unless it's like a house shattering strike. Alright, hold on a second, Zach. Can't see that well through here. Yeah, no, Zach, that's what I was mentioning. The problem is finding a real sable Latonia. I have to go into Habitat really, or go up north. There's people just don't really grow them around here. That's why I really haven't done a vlog on them. I'll catch up on the comments here. I've arrived at the destination. Oh, hey, rabbit. This is the problem. When this place gets wet, all the parking spaces on one side get flooded. It's also gator mating season, so there's going to be more gators than... I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted of a gator just crossing. A terrible parking job. Alright, so let me get through the... Chinese fan palms probably grow a little bit faster than the sable. Not much, though. Yeah, Sable, your son, I gotta find a good... there was one I could have done at my friend's place, but he sold it. Now I'd have to, like, ask for permission, so... Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll try and get on later, but, I mean, it's probably not a good chance of that. I wish there were a better chance. So... I just want to go and jump in and see my mom real quick and then get some food. But if I even if I go during while I'm getting food, it's going to be pretty short. So let me see what I can do. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And until next time, keep on planting, I guess. All right, until then. See you later, James, Dylan, Zach, Terrence, Zhao.